the new smaller Fold 8. And no, it's not called the Fold Wide. The new Galaxy Fold, the regular one, not the Ultra. This wide one. This thing is the sweet spot. When I picked it up the first time, I was just in awe. At first, I saw the guy from Samsung holding it and I was completely impressed. It sits right in between the Fold 8 Ultra and the Flip 8. And that positioning just works. The outer screen is 5.5 inches with a 10:6 aspect ratio and pretty thin bezels. And the inner display comes in at 7.6 inches with a 4:3 ratio, down slightly from the Ultra's 8 inches. The 4:3 shape means photos actually fill the screen properly when viewing them. And it also makes for a genuinely nice e-reader style experience too, open or closed, just because of how light it is. In fact, it's incredibly light. It's got a 4,500 mAh battery and weighs just about 201 grams. So this thing's very light, while still giving you way more screen than a Flip. I was watching people walk into the Samsung store and pick this thing right up for the first time, and you could see it on their faces. People were genuinely in awe of it. There's also something smart about timing here. Apple is expected to unveil the first foldable iPhone soon, reportedly in a similar, smaller, passport-style shape, the same shape the original Oppo Find N and the first-gen Pixel Fold used years ago before the industry moved on to the taller, I like to call remote-style shape. Samsung dropping this smaller Fold 8 right now, right before Apple shows up, it kind of feels like a deliberate move. It lets them say, we've had this shape too, guys. And we're keeping this bigger remote style as the Ultra above it. I think there should be an Ultra version of this wide version too, because of how amazing it is. It also has two rear cameras, a 50 megapixel primary and an ultra wide, as well as a 10 megapixel cover screen and a 10 megapixel main screen, versus the Ultra setup. Check out some of the photos I took and some of the videos I shot as well. Starting with video, the rear cameras can shoot up to 4K 60 FPS or even 8K 30 FPS, so on paper, you've actually got a solid amount of flexibility here for a foldable. However, it could do better in terms of sharpness and detail. Now, when I look at these videos, I would honestly say they look decent. For the pictures, on the rear, you're getting a 50 megapixel primary and a 50 megapixel ultra wide. I was pleasantly surprised with this shot. You can get some very nice shots with this phone. Check out the edge detection, the background blur, and the overall image quality with this one. Now mind you, these are the rear cameras. As for the front cameras, they're just like the ones on the Ultra version, and they're just 10 megapixels. So that is my gripe with these two. Now keep in mind the biggest issue with this camera is the fact that it has no telephoto. And that means that you do lose that zoom flexibility that the Ultra has. If camera performance is your top priority, the Ultra is just the better pick, hands down. I would be cautious not to give any conclusions right now because these are just preliminary tests. You need further testing to get the proper results. But for now, I say this camera can give you really nice, decent results, whether for photos and for videos.